A beginner's guide to Fishing Planet. As you see, I haven't selected my location I want to fish in yet. Of course, I'm going to start out with the Lone Star Lake. I have unlimited license, limited advanced license, which is what you're going to want to catch trophy fish. I'll show you how to get all that stuff and everything else. But let me give you a rundown on how to get what. For my inventory, I have the elemental (6'7" rod. Length is 6'6". Lure weight goes to 1/16 to 1/3 ounce. It's an ultralight power. It can hold up to a 7-pound line. It's fast action, 2 pieces, 8 guides. I'm using my Feeder Forcer 6000, which is one of the better reels you can get. I got it set up for jig works. Sorry. It can take up to a 10.5 size 10-pound line, I do believe. Mono 32 120 braid. You can get 30 to 250 yards on it. It's a pretty good reel. It's the one I actually like to use. I'm saving up to get another one, and I'm going to show you how to get all that stuff here in a minute. I am using a Fluoro .012 line. It's a 12-pound test. So, and it's clear, so it won't spook the fish. And I'm using my brown bass jig, 1/8 ounce. It's actually colored watermelon. You can see the specifications up to the upper left-hand corner there. Okay. Let's start out by showing you how to buy the rods and reels and supplies that you're going to need. I am currently at level 26, so I got access to quite a bit of the equipment already. First, let's go to rods. And as you see, I got quite a bit of them. This is the rod I'm currently using. For my deep well. And you can see that it isn't all that expensive. You can get it for $1,700. In-game dollars. It's something that you will earn as you play the game. As you see, I got bait coins up there too. I got 39 of them. Don't spend them off all at once trying to get all this fancy stuff. You won't need it. So you don't have to worry about going and doing up just all the fancy stuff and wasting all your coins. You're going to want to save them up for your licenses, and I'll show you how to get them here in a minute. When you go to select your rods, be sure you always check out the description. There are 4 boxes off to the right hand side of the screen. If you get one that has the bobber icon and the jig icon, be lucky. That's an excellent rod. But the ones you want for your jigs will only have the top left box and the lower right box checked. I'll fill it in with green, and that's what you're going to want to use for your jigs. Then you go through all them, and then like I said, you can go with the rods. You do the same thing. To select your rods and change the pages, you just press the R2 key and use the right joystick to scan around and through. Let me see if I can find the one that I'm using. You can always tell what you have because the rods and reels that you have, or the equipment that you have, or baits and what have not, up in the upper left hand corner of the selection, you will see a little backpack looking thing. That means you already have that, and that's what I'm wanting to get some more money up for. This is a pretty decent reel. It's the Feeder Forcer 6000. It costs $6,300 in game, but they all go up from there. As you see, I got a lot of them unlocked. There's still some I don't got unlocked, but that Feeder Forcer is actually the best one that I like to use. Now, and you do that with your rods, reels, lines, tools and equipment, terminal tackle, that's your hooks, your feeders, your rigs, your jigs, stuff like that. Then you would go to your lures. Those will give you your jig heads, soft baits, bass jigs, hard lures, spoons and spinners and stuff like that. And I'll take you to here to show you what I mean. This here will cost 1 bait coin, so be sure you always watch what you get, because you don't want to waste your bait coins trying to get supplies. I'm going to use the side menu to go to bass jigs. Like I said, you can get the kind of stuff that I have without having to use bait coins. Like I said, I got the watermelon, I got the white, I got the black and blue. Then and these are just the 1/0 hooks. That's what I use all the time. So on and so forth. Now I'm gonna take you over to the ground bases and everything. This is the stuff you would use for your feeder recipes. I'll show you about. I'll do a little bit about that later. I'm not going to do nothing with it right now. That'd be a totally separate video for more advanced players. Excuse me. this is what I was telling you about. When it comes time for your license, you're going to want to try to get advanced licenses all the way across the board. And always go for the unlimited licenses. For the advanced license, that will let you catch anything and keep anything without getting penalized. And to select the amount of time you get for like unlimited, the unlimited license never expire. You just press the right key on your keypad. Sorry. My sinuses are draining down into my throat. I know it's disgusting, but hey, it's something I gotta live with every day. And each advanced license will tell you exactly what level requirement you need and stuff like that. I'm going to tell you your restrictions and so on and so forth. Then you can go in and do missions. Those will help help you get your coins and stuff like that, plus money and different lines and lures and stuff like that. The one that I'm trying to do is the monster fishes. The monster fish. So that's going to be my next mission. Then it'll give you sport. Sport is kind of like competitions and stuff. You can actually join as long as you have the license and the funds for the transportation and time and stuff like that. Premium, I wouldn't even worry about that. That's where you have to spend real money. Here's the challenges right here. Tight lines, so on and so forth, that you can do, and those they will allow you to get bait coins as well as other prizes and so on and so forth. Then it'll keep going on and on down through the inventory and so on and so forth. I have two friends on right now. Tammy Girl is the one that I'm actually doing, that convinced me to do this video, since she's new to the game and she's still learning how to play. So I'm doing this to help her. The rest of this is just settings and stuff like that. I always turn my tutorial off. I've been playing long enough. But for those that's new, don't turn them off. Now, I'm going to show you how to move stuff from your home storage into your backpack. This here will allow you to move your bait and everything else like that. If you're tackle box or backpack as it's called is completely empty, after you go into your inventory by pressing, let's say you're at the map tab, you press the R1 over one time, then you press the R2 button one time, and you can use your right joystick to scroll through anything you want to go in and through. Jigs and bait. The shaded items don't work with the rod I have selected. Don't worry, they do still stay in your box. They're still accessible to you for your other rod, which allows you to do surface fishing. That's normally your first rod you get. But me, I sold all my rods and reels and everything and started from scratch, built my own stuff up. But yeah, let me see. I want to go down to hard. My bass jigs. As you see, I still got my blue one in there. To move something over from your home storage into your backpack, which is your tackle box, you move your cursor over the item you want to move, and then you would press square. My backpack's already full, but it will move whatever you have right there over into your backpack, allowing you to use it later on in the field. Now, as you see, I got a full backpack. I'm going to go into Lone Star. As I said before, I want to get another, I'm going to go over here where my friend is. Okay, I'm going to have to go into the waterway first. I want to see if I can. I'm going to start with Lone Star. I'm going to go into there. Now, that's where I want to go. Now I'm going to go in, and with me having my my rod up, set up for using jigs and stuff like that. Once I get out there, I will show you how you can switch between them simply by using your controller without having to go into your menu. To switch between your rods and equipment, just press and hold your L1. Then you can go to whatever rod you want. Then to change your lures, you press R1 and use your right joystick to scroll through that. Once you get to what you want, you would release, and then it will set it up for you. Now, I'm going to head down to the water. My favorite place to fish this time of day is right off the bridge here. Hey guys, don't mind me, I'm just doing a video. I always like to start by facing the back area back here. And I cast clear out. And I'm far enough into the game to where I have a light that I can turn on. And I like to use the stop and go technique, which is where you just slightly just tap and release, press and release your R2 key. And you do that once every 1 or 2 seconds. And you're pretty much gonna be able to catch bass, because I'm fishing for bass, so that's why I'm using my bass jig. When you get, as you see, whenever you get your lines on the far right side of your screen lighten up, you press your R2 key to set your hook, and you hold that down while you reel in with your L2 keys to set your hook. Your R2 key is to reel it in. This here is 107. I'm going to keep it, so I'm just going to press X. And as you see, there are people here fishing with bobbers and deep line fishing like me. Now I'm gonna go and show you I can catch a bass from anywhere in the lake by selecting a spot at random. Oh, here we go. We got a big one. Now keep an eye on them bars, because that there tells you how much damage you're doing to your rod and reel. There you go, another bass. Let's try another spot. Let's go over that way this time. I'm not going to cast too far out. Just 73 feet. And I always try to stay as close to the bottom as I can. That's what the big fish are going to be right now. And I'm using the stop and go motion again. And I'm ready to set my hook at a moment's notice. Oh, I missed that one. Hello viewer, and welcome to the, I'm going to go back out. Welcome viewer, welcome to the broadcast. Again, I'm going to use the stop and go technique. It is important when using these lures like this that you have to reel in, to always go slow. And keep your tip down near the water. There you go, another bass. Again, another location at random. I don't just go and cast out where I know with this fish. I go and cast out randomly. Again, I'm using the stop and go technique. I'm staying down low to the near the bottom of the lake. And I'm reeling in nice and slow with the stop and go technique. And there's another one. Voila, another bass. I get a bass every time just by using the watermelon bass jig, which is 1/8 ounce with a number 1-0 hook. And I'll show you exactly how to check your fish. You press, while you're at the lake, press your options button when you're reeled in. Press your R1 button once, your R2 button 3 times, and it will show you exactly how many fish you got, the total weight that you're carrying, the amount of fish you caught, and the amount of the reward that you're getting from it. And you can release any fish you want just by scrolling down, then pressing the X button. I'm not going to do that. I'm trying to save money up. Then when you're ready to go back to fishing, just push your options button again, and it'll take you right back to the lake. Let's go over this way. To cast out, you'd press, if you're using a bobber, and doing some surface fishing, and it looks like you're holding your line and you're just going to pop it out there, just press down on your R3, which is your right joystick, and that will allow you to put it in casting mode. Then you can use your R2 button to cast as far out as you want just by simply holding it and waiting for that bar to fill up. And again, I'm going to use the stop and go technique, and I'm going to stay low to the bottom of the lake, and as low as I can. That's where a lot of the big fish are going to be hanging. And as you see, I lowered the tip of my rod. That's because I want to give it a smoother ride to retrieve, a smoother retrieve with the lure, so it's not just jerking up and down and sinking. It's going to act like a wounded fish, which is what the bass actually go for. And I've been asked before when I did videos like this, do I know what I'm talking about just in the game, or is my experience also in real life? The answer to that question is yes, I know what I'm talking about in real life as well. I am actually a bass master. I'm a professional fisherman. I'm a professional bass fisherman, I should say. Because the professionals go from anything from bass, walleye, cats, tuna, marlin, crabs, lobster, shrimp, all kinds of different types of fishermen. Me, I'm a professional bass fisherman in real life. And I'm doing this as a way of helping a friend. Well, nothing that time. I'll go back out and I'll do it again. Also, you can set your depth on your line and everything. I'll tell you how to do that here in a little bit. But while I got my line out, I'm going to show you how to set your drag and speed up, slow down, or let out line. This speed up and slow down is for retrieval. To let line out is just basically to let more line out. That's a good technique to use if you're using live bait. Now, to set your drag, while you're cast out, you'd press the right and left. The right will increase, the left will decrease. And those are the right and left analog buttons on your touch, on your right to the left of your touchpad, just below your L1 button. And the up and down speeds up the retrieval, slows it down, or releases line. I'm not wanting to release the line right now. So now I'm going to start back up with my stop and go. So far I've been broadcasting for 31 minutes, well almost 32 minutes. I didn't want to hook a fish that time. To aim, like I'm doing right now, you can either free cast or do what I like to do sometimes, which is aim. While you're waiting to cast out, you'd tap your L2 button to aim. Now, one thing I promised you I'd do is teach you how to change the depth on your line. To do that, you'd use your analog pad, which is your up, down, left, and right keys. And I can't see if it's... And that there's something you'd normally do with the surface fishing. That's how you change your depth. If you're surface fishing, you'd use the up and down keys. You can set your drag while out of the water as well, but not your speed. But yeah. Now, there's another feature you should know about. If you look right here for the weather forecast, it will tell you exactly what times are the best time to go fishing at that lake at that day. When there's a peak, they'll be up in the yellow like it shows on the left and the right. Then there's the valley. The peaks are what you're wanting to fish at. And you can even go and, oh, I don't want to leave. Change that in game by pressing your square button. And then you can change the time of day to whatever time you want. Or skip till the next morning. But me, I'm happy right where I'm at. If you have any questions, feel free to type them in the comment section right there, and I'll be able to answer them as I'm broadcasting. That way more viewers later on down the line can actually see, will actually hear your question being asked, because I will read them, then I will go and answer them as well. Show you what to do and explain how to do it. Got one. Another bass. Well, if you have any questions, or if you want to run, just hold down your left joystick, which is L3, and you can run anywhere you want. I'll come right here. Oh, my friend Tammy Girl is watching live. Well, Tammy, I did mention you earlier in the broadcast. If you ever want to catch the video from the beginning, it will save into my YouTube channel. I have other videos from other games I play. There's another bass. And this one's a big one. It's fighting with me too. Keep that one. The technique I'm using is stop and go. I like to stay as close to the bottom as I can get. I do this with any kind of jig I'm using, no matter what kind of lure or bait I'm using, what have not. You can also twitch, which is alternating between your R2 and your L2. Or lift and drop. If you watch the video from the very beginning, it will show you how to put your jig on your line and everything else. I even went through to show you how to go and buy the right kind of rods, the right kind of reels, and everything else. I even included my preference of rods and reels, and lures and baits, and so on and so forth. And I recommend that you never use your bait coins. You're going to need them for your unlimited license. The unlimited license will allow you to catch trophies and keep them without being penalized. But if you watch the video to the very end, I will do a recap for you. Gotta set my hook real quick. Reel this one in. Okay, I got a decent amount of fish, so I'll leave out. And I'm gonna, as I promised my friend, I'm gonna do a recap real quick to show you your basics. This here is your main screen. It lets you choose where you're traveling. Before you travel anywhere, you'd go to your inventory. Well, first off, you would want to get a decent rod. You'd go to shop, and with your left joystick, you'd go down to rods and just select rods. Then you can use your right joystick and R2 to find a decent rod that is best for you. Pay attention when you go selecting rods, though. However, you're going to want to pay attention to those four little squares off to the right hand side of the screen. Those will tell you exactly what kind of rod you're getting. This rod here that I have right here is for surface fishing. That means you're only going to be able to use your bobber with that. Now, as you see, the rod I'm currently highlighted has the upper left hand corner and the lower right hand corner boxes filled in. That means that rod is only meant for your jigs. That's the kind you're going to want to use your jigs and stuff like that. And I can actually afford to buy that one if I want, but I'm not. Well, maybe I should, because what I'm currently using is far back here. Just a lightweight one, and it's only up to 7 pounds. Excuse me. But right now, sorry about that. You'd use your left joystick again to go to reels. And the ones that have the upper left and bottom left, and both bottom boxes already filled in, you can use it's the bottom boxes you want to pay attention to. Those boxes tell you what you can use. These reels that I like to use, you can use with either or. I don't like using these kind because they're only meant for that. I like to use the reels that will allow me to go either way with them. Don't use your Bitcoins for great gear and stuff like that. They'll become available to you later on down the road for cash. In-game cash, not real money. The one I like to use is called the Feeder Forcer 6000. It costs $6,300 in game. It is a good reel. It lets you go either way with it. It don't cost Bitcoin, or Bitcoin I mean. You're gonna want to, like I said, you're gonna want to use them for your unlimited licensing. I'm gonna show you how to do that too. You do that. You do the same procedure you've done with your rods and your reels, with your line, tools, equipment, terminal tackle, lures, baits. I'm not even going to go into the ground baits and additives right now. That's going to be in another video entirely for more advanced users or gamers. I'm not going to go into boats because you have to wait for X amount of levels before you can get one. But yeah, you'd go into licenses, North America. And it'll show you all the licenses. Use the down button on your analog. Select advanced only, and it'll show you all your advanced licenses. If you have 7 bait coins already, use the right analog button to go to the very bottom. Use 7 bait coins for that. And as you see, I got quite a bit of mine done. And I'll go to the map and show you all the things you'll need to know. It'll give you information about the lake you're on, the weather forecast, tells you day 1, day 2, so on and so forth. Fish species. This is something that you're going to want to pay attention to. It tells you the preferred bait and gives you a commentary of each kind of fish out there in that particular lake. Like the preferred bait, stow balls and Somalian balls. And then just keep going down. It'll tell you bluegill. It will tell you the type. It's a common, plus you can also catch it as a trophy. That's just a common. Channel cat is just common. Common. Trophy. So forth. And it will always tell you the preferred baits and preferred lures to get it. But it will always tell you the type of fish that you can catch at that location. Let's go to spotted bass. R3 will show you what it looks like. This is your spotted bass. It's quite common in the waters. I use my bass jig for it. Now, on your inventory screen, before you go into any lakes, you use your R2 button to go into your home screen, and you can go through your tackle, your rods, reels, and so on and so forth. Don't worry if they're shaded out. That's just because it can't be used with the current rod selected. My backpack is already full, but I'm going to show you anyway exactly what to do. There's your baits and stuff like that you can put in. Jig heads. If you're going to use something like these, you will need to have jig heads like this. These here are just your baits. Your jig baits. You're always going to want jig heads if you're going to use jig baits. These are the hard baits and so on and so forth. When you find something you want to move over into your backpack, highlight it like I just did, and press the move button. And that will move it over, the whole selection over into your book bag or your backpack, which is also known as, which is another name for your tackle box. Or you can equip just one of them just by pressing the X. And you do that with everything in here, terminal tackle all the way down. A lot of the tackle I have right now, I've won from competitions. You can go in and do different missions by going down the list, and it will only give you a list of what you're actually able to do right now. And it will give you prizes of bait coins, cash, and a special prize like this large minnow that will give, but you have to complete all the tasks to get all this stuff. These are the current ones I'm on. Press R2. That's all that I completed so far. I've already gotten the Lone Star Monster. I did the Lone Star Invisible Line. I got the spoon needed for the mud water. Now, whenever you wonder what kind of, if you want to find out what kind of license you have for these lakes, always look where it says licenses. I have an advanced license and it's unlimited. That means it will never expire. You can easily buy your license like this by going to the location, down to the license. Once you get to the lake you want to fish at, use the down analog button, then the right analog button. And then you can purchase them like that. Let's go to one that I don't have a license for. I'll go down here. I don't have a basic license. I don't have the advanced license. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go to advanced license, which means I won't have no restriction. It'll take me to this, to the thing, to the screen, the shop screen, to where I can get the license from that specific. It's going to cost me 250 bait coins just to get this one license. Right now I only got 39 bait coins, so that's going to leave me out on a lot of stuff right now. You can get your license that way. That's something I didn't mention earlier in the video. I don't want to. Then on top of that, if you go down here, you can actually decide how many days sorry. Let me go back down to Rocky Lake. I don't want to go to Rocky. That would cost me $2,000 a trip. Okay. To select how many days you go, you go down to travel cost, and it'll say 1 day. Then you can use your right controller to go and add days and what have not. It's been a while since I did that, so that's about all you need to know. If you have any questions, feel free to ask real quick by using the comment section. So I'll read them out. I'll do a quick Q&A. I'll wait for the next 5 minutes. I'll do questions so I have not. If you have them, you can always write me in the comments. I always read the comments out loud, then I answer the questions, so everyone knows what I'm seeing on my screen. Other than that, that's just about all I can say. That this here's the beginning video for beginner. This here's my video for Fishing Planet for beginners. I hope you enjoyed it, and good luck and happy fishing. There's 4 minutes left for Q&A. Feel free to ask any question you wish. Three minutes left for Q&A. Well, I guess now's a good time as any to end the video. So, like I said, good luck and happy fishing.